Let's talk a little sports. All right, it's 40 minutes after the hour here. The U.S. women's national soccer team, with the reigning champions here for the World Cup. So we're 100 days away from their next chance. So live in Philadelphia, we have soccer broadcasting legend JP Dellacamera and former U.S. women's national team player Wagner. So excited to have you guys here. So first of all, I want to ask you, are you guys in Philly because the She Believes Cup is kicking off?
Yeah, I heard your weather forecast in Houston. Here, the forecast is probably in the 30s tonight, so it's going to be very cold. But this is a big game for the U.S. because they're starting a 3-game tournament in 7 days, and their first test is tonight against Japan.
And you know what, when we talk about Japan, they are the 8th ranked in the world. So is this kind of a preview of what we can expect 100 days from now?
I think so. I mean, when you look at the World Cup, and it's not necessarily a group stage format that we're going to see this type of competition, but it's once you hit those knockout stages for the U.S. because they do have a relatively soft group. But if things go the way people predict, with France being the host nation, they should come out first in their group. U.S. should come out first in their group, as we would presume. They are the clear favorites, but if that happens, it sets up a potentially quarterfinal matchup with a France, for instance, and that is a big, big test early in the knockout stages. So these 3 matches, as JP alluded to, with Japan, with Brazil, and with England, they're massive in order to see where the U.S. is, where they need to improve, and how they can kind of shape things when they are playing those top contenders in the World Cup.
Well, you know what, since you mentioned France, we should mention the first loss for the U.S. team last month. So are we like looking out for France, or is France looking out for us, which is the way it should be, in my opinion?
That's a good question. Getting back to France, though, they are the host nation. They are one of the favorites to win this, along with the U.S. But, you know, if you go back to that game, I think it was good that the U.S. lost. Ali and I were talking about this yesterday. The U.S. didn't have many of their players on hand for that. They were not in season form. The French team was. But also, we've talked about this before, the momentum, right? Because the U.S. went in with a 28-game unbeaten streak. You don't want your first loss to come at the World Cup.
Right.
You'd like to get it over with sooner, so I think that was good that they lost there.
Yeah, and you want to be tested early on, but I would, to your point, say that the other heavy favorite is France, and they are the side that the U.S. probably should be the most concerned about. Maybe perhaps on the right below that, or even could be England. So I think those are your 3 front runners. Japan is going to always be in that contest. I think tonight is a really interesting match to see where they are. We talk about the U.S., you know, what level are they playing at? Well, this is a young Japanese side, and I'm curious to see how they can compete against the U.S. because they'd be another one that I would throw into that hat.
Well, to France, we bid them adieu because we're due for another win. Thank you guys so much for the preview. Appreciate that.